unless we cannot manage ourselves, it will be very difficult to manage others. A CEO who is running around like a chicken, he will have a team that is running around like chickens. But to make deep decisions and to connect with people, we have to slow down. We have to speak slower. We have to walk slower. Because then you can come to a standstill, which we call in our brain into a more alpha state. It describes the concept of the heart, where I dive in deeper into how gratitude, authenticity, freedom and compassion can really be at service for you as a leader and as a human being. I explore 10 keys that open your heart and go into that heart energy, because it's when you go a little bit deeper into quantum physics and by Einstein and Bohr, they're already talking about this kind of energy from the heart. So it's not some kind of woo-hoo thing. Also science backs it up.
Today I welcome Stijn Staes at the studio. We will explore what it really means to lead with authenticity and why slowing down might actually help leaders to go further. So Stijn, welcome at the studio.
Thank you for having me. I'm really pleased. I'm really honored to be here with you.
Thank you very much. For the first, you say that to lead others, you first have to be the CEO of your own life. What does that mean?
Well, it means for me and for what I try to help others with is having control or being aware about what you think, what you feel and what you do. We are often very captured in the rat race, but because we have to do things, that we have to hurry up, we have an agenda, we have goals, we have results that we should meet. And unless we cannot manage ourselves, it will be very difficult to manage others. A CEO who is running around like a chicken, he will have a team that is running around like chickens. So your behavior as a manager or a leader, your behavior, your thoughts is a mirror of what your team how your team will react or how your team will behave. So it's really important to dive into your own self-management. It
might looks like to be easy, but I'm not sure. Respectively, I'm sure it isn't.
No, it isn't, because we are so consumed by what others expect from us. You know, and especially CEOs, leaders, founders, they have a lot of stakeholders, banks, shareholders, employees, their family, all these people and all bigger environment that expect things from you. And when you get yourself into just being led by others' expectations, it becomes so overwhelming that you will lose control of what you think and what you do. So you remain faithful to who you really are, and you really get to know yourself. It's not me who is inventing this. It has already been said by Aristotle, know thyself in the Greek, with the Greeks. So yeah, it is not easy, yet it is not impossible. And it is also because it is not easy. And in a way, let me rephrase that. I think it is very easy. It is as easy as a child that has to learn to brush its teeth.
Okay.
It is not nice in the beginning. We hate it. He hates it. He hates the taste of the toothpaste. He hates the brush in his teeth. And so in the beginning, it might seem, why do we have to do this? It might seem very useless. Yet in the long term, it is so important, and you will only benefit or you only see the results in the long term. Sometimes already immediately.
Yeah. Sure, I'd like to ask you maybe to dive deeper into how to do it, but now I'd like to ask, because for you, the leadership is not about charisma or control.
Mhm.
It's more about presence, courage, and maybe trust.
Mm.
So, how would you explain that?
Well, you know, a leader that is true to its own heart and what he is representing and the passion that he is living his leadership with, it is fundamental to the way that you connect with others, with your stakeholders, with employees. So being true to who you are, being true and trust yourself in what you're doing, the deep trust in yourself, makes it possible to connect with others in a manner that is honest, that is authentic, that is not abusive, because that is a lot of leadership what we see these days, at least on television. There are many that we don't see, but the main examples that we see on television, that we hear on the radio, it's autocratic, very abusive kind of leadership. We don't always realize it, that it is abusive, but it is, and that is not the leadership that is a leadership of love that gives hope and hope for the future. Yeah.
If I have the right information, so many of your clients are accomplished executives who, despite their success, feel something is missing. Is it you mentioned before, the need to know who I am and what I want really?
And it is mainly because they are doing things that are not suitable for them.
Okay.
You know, a lot of the CEOs, they're busy in the daily operational tasks, and they still believe that they have to manage their own agenda, that they have to keep up with the bookkeeper, you know, all these kind of operational things, which is actually not the task of a leader. A leader should develop a vision. A leader should connect with its people and to share that vision that he represents, that he wants his firm to stand for. And so most of the people or the clients that come to me, they feel this disconnectivity of what is my true passion. You know, you have leaders who are very good in spreadsheets and very good in management, but are really worse, really bad in managing people, and still they're doing it, which makes them sick, which makes them unhappy. So it is so important for a leader to know what is his talent and where is his passion, and focus on that, and get then people around you who are better than you in the things that you are not good in. And that's often where the difficulty comes from, because then the ego comes up, you know, when you have somebody next to you who is better in something that you are not good in. Well, that is what a lot of people have to learn. But a good leader and success in a company means that you are able to gather people around you that are better in most of the things that you are.
Okay. So let's go to maybe the ways or how to find out what is your real passion, what you really want to do. How to do it? Is it possible to say in some let's say general level?
Yeah. Well, this is where the coaching part comes in, and there are different tools of how to recognize what gives you energy and what takes energy away from you. And that's actually, you can do that in different ways, you know, to really get to know what is really giving me energy. Not the energy from drinking coffee and caffeine and dancing all night long, but doing the activities that give fulfillment. You know, not just being ecstatic, but give a true deep fulfillment of life, you know, that you feel like, now this is why I'm here on this planet. This is what I'm here to do.
So you have to observe that.
Yeah. And that is often that's the quest that a lot of leaders and a lot of people have to make. And that's after 5 or 10 years, it can change. You know, I'm not doing the same thing as I did 20 years ago.
Okay.
So it's a constant quest of and still wondering and reflecting on themselves. Am I still in the right position? And do I still feel fulfillment of what I'm doing in this very moment?
Pánské obleky bandy.
Your signature method, STAP, stands for success, trust, action, and pleasure. 4 dimensions that help people realign their professional life with what they feel inside.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Could you please describe it more deeply?
So there is an I before. In Dutch, it translates like I step, but then it's with an A of action. And I always start with intention. You know, what's your true intention when you want to work on yourself, when you step into a leadership development, self-development program or personal growth? What's your intention? Why are you doing this? What do you want to get out of it? Because once you have set your intention clear, then anything is possible. You know, you can open up for all kind of surprises. You know, for example, somebody says, you know, it's my intention to be nicer or to be a kinder leader and to be a more compassionate leader. Because it opens up for a lot of things and for change. So the intention setting is very important. The success routines and the focus, that's the S. There we are diving into what is really successful in your life. What are the activities, for example, that brings you energy, what not? Okay. What is it where you need to focus? Where do you need to keep your focus away from? And the T stands for the trust. Do I trust myself? What is the trust that I have in others? Because what we see and we live in an era where there is a lot of distrust in each other. Yeah. Most of the people, when they are getting approached by somebody, what does he want from me? And it is, a society has created us and people that we are a little bit suspicious about one another. And so that's the part where we dive into how can I start again from a position of trust. I trust a person and I give them chances. And so the action, I'm quite action oriented because it is important not to just have talks, nice talks. You know, it's nice to have talks like this, but what are you going to do with it? If you don't trust people, we can learn you how to develop the trust, but you have to act. You know, the universe only likes action, and it rewards action, but the right action. The right action. And so the P stands for pleasure. Because what I truly believe as human beings, we are here to have joy, not fun. That's something different. When you do bungee jumping, that's fun. Okay, and joy? And joy is that feeling of deep fulfillment. Okay. It's the joy of life, you know, it's the joy of, you know, we sitting here together, having a nice conversation. And letting that experience fully grab you. That's the joy. Does it mean that it's easy? No, it can be difficult. But also you can find joy in difficult moments. Okay. What really caught my mind was that you also use long reflective walks in nature. To help clients slow down and see their choices more clearly. Could you please explain what happens during one of your leadership walks, let's say? Yeah. Well, you know, most of the clients that I work with, they are not even aware how fast they're walking, how fast they are speaking, how fast they are moving, and how fast they are thinking. And in many perspectives, a fast thinker, it can be very helpful. When you have to act quickly, when you have to resolve problems or issues, or when you have to run away from fear or from an accident, or somebody tries to kill you. You have to be very fast. But to make deep decisions and to connect with people, we have to slow down. We have to speak slower. We have to walk slower, because then you can come to a standstill, which we call in our brain into a more alpha state, because we all have kinds of waves in our brains. And usually a child, for example, you can see it when a baby or a child up to 9 to 10 years in the brain, it's alpha waves. It's the place where we can be very creative, where new ideas come up, where you get new insights, and it just comes very naturally. So what nature does and what walking in nature does is that we reset the brain from the B waves, because that's the active thinking wave, and we slow it down to alpha waves. So you come to a more relaxed mode where creativity, curiosity, and new ideas and insights come up.
Probably that makes sense, because there are many examples from history when some unique art work was created by walking.
Yeah, exactly. And you see there what's very interesting. You see there is an evolution in history as well, especially the last 100 years. The founders of the European Union. The name escapes me now, Schuman. He went walking with people to reflect on his issues. Nowadays, you have, that was before, but you had the kind of Verhofstadt and, also famous people. They're cycling.
Yeah.
They're cyclists. They are even faster. And you see now as well, many people are driving in cars and they have their conversation in cars. So you see how also there is a shift in the reflectiveness of people. So I'm the guy who brings people back to the Schumann state. Aristotle, he was walking as well. In the old ages, people were walking.
Týden inovací, jedna z nejvýznamnějších tuzemských událostí v oblasti inovací, převratných technologií a umělé inteligence, v roce 2025 oslavil už 10. výročí existence. Každoroční svátek všech inovátorů a nadšenců přelomových řešení pravidelně na jednom místě prezentuje okolo 300 skvělých řečníků, ať už jde o špičky tuzemské inovační scény nebo výjimečné osobnosti ze zahraničí. Dále desítky diskuzních panelů, inovativních nápadů a technologií z různých oborů, inspirativní semináře nebo projekty zaměřené na podporu startupů a žen podnikatelek. Zapište si už teď. 11. ročník týdne inovací proběhne 1. a 2. října 2026.
Please tell me if I'm right. The title of your book and also the podcast, Becoming Human Again.
Yes, exactly.
Captures your broad message to rediscover simplicity, presence, courage in overly complex world. Could you tell us more about your book and about your podcast? What is the what you want to reach by them, or to say maybe?
Well, that's a very good question. When I started to write the book, it was after a very difficult period where I got fired from a job. I was a manager, and I went into a quest of what is making people successful, and where did I fail, because I wanted to learn from my mistakes. I did a lot of good things, but I also did a lot of not so good things.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to know what is that makes people successful. And so I thought, let's start with the famous CEOs all over the world. And I started interviewing them. And what I found out is that the most successful people, the most kind people, they have a true message from their heart. They consider that in first place, you have to follow your heart.
Mm-hmm.
What is your heart telling you? Mm. And that I remembered like, okay, but that is what I used to do as well. I lost it along the way in my own management positions. So the book is a mix of what I got out, all the wisdom and inspiration that I got out of all the conversations that I had with these people, mm-hmm. with CEOs from all over the world and very inspirational figures, and my own experiences. And it describes the concept of the heart, where I dive in deeper into how gratitude, authenticity, freedom, and compassion can really be at service for you as a leader and as a human being. Mm-hmm. I explore 10 keys that open your heart and go into that heart energy, because it's when you go a little bit deeper into quantum physics and by Einstein and Bohr, they're already talking about this kind of energy from mm-hmm. the heart. Mm-hmm. So it's not some kind of woo-hoo thing. Also science backs it up. Uh-huh. There is, for example, investigations by HeartMath that the energy of the heart is 5,000 times bigger than the field of the mind. Uh-huh. So there's a lot of science behind why the heart is so effective, and living by the heart is so effective. I describe that in my book as well. Mm-hmm. And in the last chapter, I dive into the concept of self-love. It's a kind of a buzzword, but often misunderstood. And you can only take care, coming back to the beginning of your mm-hmm. question, managing others. You can only love others when you love yourself. Mm. And a leader should love his people. And they're not his people. They're working for them. They're spending time. They're giving their time to them. And he should love them. If there is no love between the leader and the employee, then it gets difficult.
And do you think that every leader can really love his people? Or
we should certainly try. Well, and it's not the Hollywood love. Let's make that very clear. It's not the Hollywood
Definitely.
love. It is the unconditional love of accepting the other one for who he is and trying to make him better, mm-hmm. and trying to lift him up. Often, what leaders do is try to keep their employees small, and it is the task of a leader to make his employees or her employees raise, lift them up and help them to get the best mm-hmm. out of each of them.
Actually, my question was if you think that every leader is able to get to this level, to try to help his or her people, to lift them up and support them.
Well, and that you can only do when you love yourself. Mm. And when you're able to love yourself, that you can raise yourself. So it requires a lot of self-knowledge, where I'm good with, and accept your own failures or your flaws. And sometimes you have a bad day. And sometimes you yell at people. But what do you do with it? Are you going to apologize? What are you going to do with your anger or frustration? Mm-hmm. That's the thing of the self-knowledge, of the self-love. I accept that I sometimes have flaws, and I'm going to learn how to deal with it.
Okay. Stijn, thank you very much for coming to the studio. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you for your beautiful questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.